Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to David Nair on air, all the way from down under Brisbane, Australia. I understand this broadcast is going out to a number of countries, the likes of India, South Africa, Australia, UAE, US, and Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome each of you from wherever you are to have a listen to two of beautiful ladies who are going to share their journey of what has transpired in relation to their work, their family, and drive for purpose. Who is this guy called David Nair? As a peak performance excellence coach, author of a book titled I Excel Wide for Success, and two collaborated books called Grail 1 and Grail 2. I have actually done this primarily to help people go through their journey of rather than just drifting through life, but work for a purpose. Why do I do that? Primarily to provide hope for a lot of people. And to me, hope is very simply put, HOPE, help other people evolve. The key element is when you are able to do that, and when people are able to provide hope and play it forward, you see their whole life changes drastically. My main purpose of working and developing people has been primarily to help create a mindset shift, a heart set shift, and a soul set shift in 1 million people, thereby improving their lifestyle and that of the next generation, leaving behind a legacy for them to be trailed after. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let me just introduce you to two of the speakers. I'm not going to take credit for explaining what they have done, how they have done it, but I really want them to share their part of the story as we journey through this 1 hour of discourse. Welcome aboard, Lalita and Rhushana. How are you guys?
Hi, David. Good evening.
Very good evening to both of you. Welcome,
Hi,
welcome. You're in Goa, once in Cape Town, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good, very good. Lalita, why don't we start with you for you to just share your perspective of what and where you were as you journeyed through working in different parts of India and then back in Goa. Please share with us that point and any of your travels that you've gone through with. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, David, first of all, for giving me the opportunity to come and talk here on this platform. Um, I think sound is it there any concern in sound?
It's a bit of an echo, Lalita. Dr. Lita, there's a bit of an echo.
Okay, great. So this is Dr. Lita, and I'm a fantastic parenting coach. Not fantastic, it's fantastic parenting. I'm very passionate about. If you will see my journey, I'm a failure in the medium who could not speak any, language that's called English, could not speak, but I did not live my life the way it was. Started from there.
I
And in my
just a minute, please, Lalita. I think we are having a lot of voice distortion. Um,
yes.
Sunita, are you there? Sunita?
Yes, I'm here. Mr. David,
Right.
please unmute yourself,
There seems to be a lot of voice distortion. Hello.
Hello. Yes, David. Now I think it's better. No,
Okay.
again it started echoing. She's Sunita is putting up.
What do we do, Sunita? Do we continue or disband it?
Yes, sir, please continue.
Continue. Oh, okay.
Please.
Right. Go on, please, Lalita.
Yeah. So once again, hi everyone. This is Dr. Lalita. The sound is still David is dual, I think. Now you are on mute. I think now it would be single. When you are on mute, then it's single.
No, it's still not right for me when I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you,
Sumatra.
but I can hear my own voice back.
Dr. Lita, please continue.
Okay, fine. Not a problem. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, hi everyone. This is Dr. Lalita. I'm a fantastic parenting coach. Uh, I started this dream of mine of becoming a parenting coach. It has come from really a very early time and age when I was in standard 12. I failed there due to some circumstances and reasons, and then I decided there are three major elements which fix on a person's life or personality. One is school, the other one is surroundings, and the main one is parenting. And one evening when I was traveling from India to US, on the way on Turkish airport, a small incident happened with me and my son. Like he really wanted to, we were on the airport and we entered in the lobby and the gate was closed, but the flight was yet to come. And the boarding has not started, but he wanted to go to the washroom due to nature call. Then what happened was really, something that was transformation for me for my entire life, because there he shown his that my angel, you may say, was converted into a demon. And he, after using the washroom, he don't want to get washed, and I'm trying my level best. He's putting his feet on the wall and pushing me back and throwing and crying and screaming whatever he could do. And I was really feeling embarrassed because when I brought him out, he lied down on the floor and everyone around was looking at us, and I was feeling really embarrassed. Oh my God, what is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Or it is happening only to me. And then anyhow, entering to the gate was again very difficult, but I could manage. And after entering in the flight, I thrown my body on the seat. I sat down and I was literally into tears. And then I thought, like, what was this all? Why is this happening? Why I'm feeling bad? Why people are staring at me? And then I realized, no, it was nothing wrong with the child. The child was just trying to be the child. He's a child only. And right from there to listening our orders and just following blindly us, that all those stories, all those tantrums which the parents are facing these days, they all together came in my mind. And I was really finding some way out. Then the mentors like David, you and few more, they came to life and they gave me a path in life. And I'm glad that I know my purpose today.
Now that you've gone through that, how did you bring your purpose to life? The journey you've just explained. What is your purpose? Where are you heading with it?
Yeah. So my purpose, as I am co-authoring with you in Grail 2.0, and I'm really proud of that. Though it was in my mind, that I have this purpose of doing parenting, but I didn't knew, just like a compass without a needle, don't know where to go. So I didn't knew what exactly is my purpose. But when I came with you and we did those exercises, fire to wire and in MRM, so then I could realize exactly what I want. So what exactly my purpose now is, I want to influence 1 billion parents, maybe through social media or my program, or maybe my through my books. And after writing it in the book, now it's so concrete that even at night when I wake up, the purpose is clear. And slowly, slowly, step by step, I'm going ahead towards my purpose. So that's my purpose, to transform the lives of 1 billion parents in my, life, minimum at least.
One of the key things I'd like you to share is the pain you have gone through to get that purpose where it is today. What are some of the features, some of the pain points that you have suffered through?
David, to be frank, like I'm very passionate about learning, right? So I'm here, I'm there, I'm jumping from one place to other place, but nothing was organized. Secondly, I was the person who was literally complaining all the time, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. But when like we started doing these activities of time management, when you divided our lives, the four segments of life, and you need to balance your time accordingly, then your money multiplied by time, like it should be accordingly. Then I realized and I got many breakthroughs. And in one of the sessions when I told you as well, at my time I'm too busy, I can't do this and I can't do that. And then you made us do that practice of dividing our day hour by hour, like what are you doing in which hour. That made me realize that I have lots and lots of time. Now I'm writing books, I am taking sessions, I am doing live sessions, doing my job, taking care of my child and family, everything. But still everything is organized. So many of us feel we are very busy, we don't have time. It's not like that. It's just we don't know how to manage and balance our time. Then second thing which I have learned from you, and I'm really thankful about dividing your time of your life in four segments. Earlier, if I'm taking care of my family, then my personal career, it goes away somewhere. Then if I'm going and working for my personal growth, then family I'm ignoring. So now I know how to balance about it. Then lots and lots of guilt was there. Lots and lots of negative talks within my brain were going on. But fire to wire helped me to come out of that all. So this is a pain every working woman I must say is going through. And I'm really thankful that you helped us to come out and jump out of that and just to look clearly towards our purpose of life.
One of the things that I keep saying to everybody is I'm still negotiating with God to give me 36 hours in the day. He's refused it for me for the last 92 years. I don't know why. So the same thing applies to everybody, whether you're a Kropathy or whether you're a person who is average, mediocre in life. You only got 24 hours and we've got to live with it. Many don't realize that. But once you know how to play around with it and manage what you're doing, as you so rightly put, you're then at ease. You're not overwhelmed. Things happen smoothly. Therefore, your productivity automatically goes up. And that's the key thing that most people need to understand. You are in control of your life. And as so rightly put by Lalita, thank you so much for that, Lalita. And let's move on to Rhushana, all the way from Cape Town. Your side of the story, lady, from moving from point A to point B, the journey that you took in writing the chapter for Grail 2.0.
Thank you so much, David. Greetings with love and peace from South Africa, Cape Town. I am a self-empowerment coach. I am holistic wellness practitioner, as well as the author of Ignite the Power for You, 13 heartfelt stories, as well as co-authored with Grail, Seek Your Life Out with Purpose, podcaster as well, and a speaker. So my journey has really been a miraculous one, I would say. Growing up in a strong family unit, right, with very much cocooned and sheltered, guarded with the utmost love and compassion. And from that, from after completing high school, stepped into my father's dream. Working alongside the family in a family business, building a salon made in the industry where we passionately managing the talent industry and the transcended time, the transcended love. So I've been in the family business for about 20 years. When I experienced something I would now call an awakening. And what is this awakening? I at one point I was selling my jewelry store, and I remember this day so vividly. As this gunman walked in, they held a gun against my head, and everything I knew to be my safe haven, it just rocked my world. So this very place that I felt safe, cocoon, lots of love, compassion, and now became my place of terror. And when the gunman held that gun against my head, the only thing that really mattered was, in that moment of staring that man in the eyes, and I still remember this visual so vividly, and I just saw the ruthlessness within that eyes. And the first thing that came to my mind was, am I going to make it? You know, it was as if my life just flashed in front of me. And I turned inwardly and asked, is this my last day? And with that question, there was nothing really mattered in terms of material wealth. It didn't matter with the kids. The main thing that really stood out for me was, did I do in this world what I was meant to do? Had I come to this, had I reached my objective of life, and what is my standing with the divine? And that really just got me to a complete, that shifted everything for me. As terrifying as it was in that moment, as as the gunman had me down to my knees and the tears rolling down my face, the only thing that got me thinking was, what is my standing with the divine? Is it reasonable? Had I lived a meaningful life? And and after that, that really got me to really reflect. And I realized that the divine have a purpose. For the day that he saved me was the awakening that got me to realize that my life is bigger than myself and my family unit and my normal social settings. And that was where everything just shifted for me. I soul searched into, where is my path? Why am I still living? Why did that gunman not take my life from me? And so uh, that got me to life coaching, which then shifted everything for me. After life coaching, I signed up with a program, and that really opened up various doors for me. It opened up the opportunities for speaking, for authoring, which I'm now a author of the book Ignite the Power for You. And that was really about, just igniting my own inner strength. And and sometimes we see things as a calamity, as a difficulty, as a darkness, and yet that very darkness is the light that awakens our soul. And so David, that was really my starting point as it got me to this self-empowerment industry, got me to this deep sense of desire to help humanity, to be a sense of light, of guidance, of love, of compassion, and aid people with self-belief. And thereafter, kind of just like as we say, it's history. So that's really what it's been for me, like David. It's that massive defining moment that shifted everything for me. And coupled with that, walking away from being cocooned, it was extremely scary. And realizing that, because I was so sheltered most of my life, I didn't have, okay, there's some disturbances. We've got some, can you hear me? David, can you hear me? Okay, got a message that there's some disturbance. Just missed my train of thought. Okay, so what I was saying was that when something so big happens, it just opens one up to bigger things. And that was really my turning point. My life really shifted from myself, my family, to the bigger picture of serving, serving those outside.
Catastrophe. And in this particular case, for someone to come out of the cocoon, many out there would know the story of the caterpillar coming through the cocoon. Only when you go through that struggle, the pain, will you then see the benefit on the other side. And this little kid was trying to help the caterpillar by cutting the cocoon, thinking that it'll flop out and everything will be fine. But when the caterpillar came out of the cocoon, it was flipping and flopping around. It wasn't able to use its wings to fly. Therefore, the world could not see the beauty on its wings, which unfortunately most people don't see that way. Whenever there is a pain, there is a challenge, they hold back and they go back into what I call their primitive brain and make sure that the primitive brain overshadows everything else. And that, unfortunately, is the main problem or issue with a lot of our concerns out here in the public. And if you're aware that that is the trigger and you're able to switch that, rather than allowing that back brain to be working, the armadillo, work with your frontal cortex by putting some action into it, which is what you did. You went ahead and you did something with it, which counteracted the pain and that challenged the amygdala. Then guess what? You're flying beautifully. Now that is the key trigger. And if this little switch can be explained to people to just grasp on, it's amazing what power they will have in their hands to do what they really are worth while doing in this world. They're put here for a purpose, and that purpose will be fulfilled if they know how to use that. It's small switches like that that we need to focus with people. And that's good that both you coaches have picked that up and are driving through that. A journey from there to what is your purpose and what do you plan to do with it going forward?
Okay, so for me, David, it's always to make a meaningful difference in the lives of humanity. And my way of doing this is igniting that self-belief, that holistic wellness, bringing about self-love and self-compassion. So what my vision is really to create an holistic wellness center where I'm offering various different modalities to help people bring about this balance, through spiritually, mentally, and physically. And so I'm very passionate about being this anchor to help and support others to be able to express and to evolve into the best versions of themselves. And so I know firsthand, as you spoke about that cocoon, I was very much as a caterpillar, I was very much in that caterpillar, like falling all over the place. Although I had identified my purpose, I still had a lot of fear. And being surrounded with such amazing people, David, you one of them, the mentor, being surrounded by mentors really helped me and built my own self-belief, because you've opened up so many different opportunities for me that helped me see my own ability to execute and take that massive action. And that is why today I'm so passionate, like you said initially, is to pay it forward. Because I have the strong belief that when you believe in yourself, not only are you able to execute your purpose, but you do it with such passion and with such confidence and such a zest. So for me, that is so important to not only know your purpose, but to have that self belief and that willingness to drive it forward and pay it forward. So for me, it's really about assisting those to be that lighthouse for them, to be that anchor for them, so that they can borrow my belief until they have the belief for themselves. And so my way forward in executing this, David, is having various programs. And one of the program is Ignite the Powerful You. And there is something called a Mastermind, as well as running various workshops for women, for children, for teenagers. Because I'm also finding that, you know, amongst the teenagers, there's lots of what the common thing is called anxiety. And what this really means is the lack of ability to navigate the emotions. And so this is where I find I want to drive myself in terms of helping the youth regulate the emotions, the ability to articulate the emotions and feel what they're feeling, and be able to remain grounded amongst their feelings and not mask, because I find that, we're just walking around in masks. And so the ability to be vulnerable, I think that is so, so powerful. COVID is finished. We can't be masking up anymore. We need to be real. David, you're on mute. You're on mute, David.
Can you hear me
You're on
now?
mute. I can hear you.
Right. I know there is an echo, Sirat. Unfortunately, the system has a challenge today, so we're still going through with it. My question now is understanding that we now need to go through and express, doesn't matter what the challenge is, express that so we can play our issues, our purpose forward. The same with you, Lalita. Now that you've developed that, you have crystallized on it, what are you doing to take this forward and roll it out?
Yeah. So, David, like as I said, today's parents is fun is missing out of parents. right? Soon after being the parent, like we start feeling my life is gone and I'm done and I have, I don't have life anymore. So that fun element is missing out of the parent's life. And if that fun element is missing out parent's life, that is automatically missing out of, children's life. Many of the parents or mothers especially, they feel like they give up their dreams, they leave everything behind just for the children, to upbring the children. No doubt it's important, but if you will see, maximum of the business women, you would say, or all the women or females who are on prominent positions, they have done their best when the kids were really young, you know so it's not really pain, so that fun element needs to come in to upbring the children. So I was, because I saw myself for 3 years in the initial years, and then I could realize on every step, and I was finding out the ways that what is wrong. So then I realized if it is something wrong, we always try to fix the children. Why child is having tantrums? Why child is not listening to me? Why is answering me back? Or why there is no harmony in there is always an argument. So what's wrong? We feel we need to fix the child. And even the society says your child is not good. That answers back is ill mannered child, indisciplined child. So that kind of labels we give to the children. But I realized through my journey that if it is child needs to be fixed now, or a word needs to be fixed of yours, it will be called wording or it will be called childing. It is called parenting. It has nothing to do with the child. It's we people need to fix it, right? It's as parents need to see, because I realized, analyzed in my personal life, 80% of the time, if I shout or yell on my child, it's because of some other frustration, because of some other adult issue where something is wrong is happening in the relationship, and that's when we are yelling on the kids. Hardly you will find any reason that the child is doing something and we need to yell on them. They are just being themselves. We want an organized house and place everything. So after realizing this, I felt, how should I spread it out to the society? So I'm having my program that is FunTastic Parenting, and it's coming in a new model very soon. Secondly, I have written 3 books. Like first one is Geniusology. Second one is Your True Reflection. That is a fantastic book, and it's going to be released on 5th of September. And the other one is Khamoshia, that is also going to be published very soon. And the fourth one is in the pipeline. And if we I would definitely consider the Grail as well, which is the fifth one, which is a co-author with you guys. So parallel to that, I'm working on the recorded sessions and lives, so that I can bring that fun element into parenting and can bring the harmony instead of power struggle, just having a collaboration in family. So I'm working around that, and parallelly, you know uh, Geniusology, that is my core project of my heart, that unfolds the genius in your child. So I give a clarity to the parents to understand that generally when a child is born, we accept start expecting from a child that my child should be the best child, not less than Einstein or not less than APJ Abdul Kalam. But that is a fantasy. So there are many such fantasies which the parents need to come on the ground level, where the parents need to understand they are just kids, and average is not expected and accepted by the society, and because there is no score for average, so every parent want a super child. So my genius is not that super and fantasy child. My genius is something, a child on their full potential. So that's what I am bringing forward to the audience, especially India, because India is considered, 68th in the position of parenting. So my passion, India really need, to learn parenting, which was called Vishwaguru in a time, and the best parenting activities were there. But because of we were slaves, and when we were slaves, Britishers were ruling on us. So there was a different scenario. They wanted clerks, those who are not thinking, not asking why and what, and they're just following. And the same hierarchical system has come to our home, and our parenting is being done just like that, not asking if the parent is saying, do it. Why? Because I'm saying I'm your parent. So that hierarchical system, that industrialization hierarchical system has come to the parenting, and that needs to shift, especially in India. And that's what I'm trying to do.
David, you on mute? You have to unmute, David.
Now, is that an impact from education system, or is there some other means in which you can utilize to get this shift happening? Because education, in my personal perspective, is still very stereotyped. And unless you can implant something else in there, what is it that you would be looking at pushing through to make it fun?
Yeah, so there are these two things that I mentioned you. One is parenting, and number two, education is equally important. It is changing. Education, scenario is changing. I'm a CBSE resource person. I train teachers. And when I train teachers, I always ask one question to all of them. That you just close your eyes and make a beautiful painting of nature. And you won't believe it. 85% of them make the same paint. Mountains, just a river is flowing through, one tree and one hut. 85% of them. The reason was they were just taught the same. But today, if you will look at like my son, if I'll tell him, okay, recently he was having a competition where he needs to make the aquarium. So I said, let me help you. Let's search something on internet if we can find. He said, no, mama, I want to show my own creativity. Recently, like this much now, if with these children you will do an activity same that draw a painting where there is nature, you will find everyone will have a different picture. Reason being, now we have started realizing in education with NEP now, lot many changes are done by the education, in education policies, David. But somewhere on parenting, hardly there is any work going on. On the name of modern parenting, parents are going somewhere else, right? They are feeling like in the name of freedom, they are feeling like we need to let our kids be free, whatever they are doing. I'm not saying, like, we need to understand and realize few things, that how to deal with it. So I would strongly say that in fact schools are doing much better work now, and the teachers, the educators are really trying, their level best, and they're getting transformations. There are many beautiful movies. Recently, one has come up which is OMG. I recommend every parent and teacher must watch that movie. So teachers are really working good. Schools are really going towards that. And within coming 5 years, I'm damn sure the things will totally change into education. But parents, only if you would see, means upper some level is working, but below than that, they're hardly aware that how they are parenting. And unless it will come at home in parenting, we can't change and transform anything at all. You are on mute, David.
Mute.
It's the first time in 18 months that they're muting me from talking. Can you believe that?
I'm so happy today. Yes, I'm so happy today for this. I'm visualizing it for the first time. And one party from me to as an entire MRM.
Now, let me come back. The key point is that is good the way you are driving this, but where do you feel you can work on for the future? If the child is not exposed properly, does parent exposure, is that adequate, or do you need more than that?
No, David, it's more than that. See, parent would give what they got exposed to, not more than that, right? And that time, you are on mute, David.
When you get more than that,
again you were on mute. Sorry.
No, I'm not.
Now you came back.
Right. Where would you go to get that more from? Is my question.
Yes, like I got this platform, MRM, in the
Right.
same way Titan is, which you have given the platform for children. So
Right.
all the parents, I strongly recommend to attend Fire to Wire. Even more strongly, come at MRM. Like NENN has given no excuses and no negativity, has given me a different way of handling and taking care of myself. That's why I can take care of my child. My mental resilience, which was totally lost and my life was messed up. So all the parents must attend that, must first go and expose what is happening latest. I'm into education from past 15 years, but still I could not, in a small town, I could not get this exposure what I'm getting on this platform, to be very honest. Today I'm sitting here talking to you. You are in Cape Town, I am in Goa, and earlier I was in Haryana. It's not a small thing for a 12th class failure who studied in government schools where there were no schools, no teachers, no classroom, sitting under the trees and in the rains just wearing up the gunny bags. I came across that journey. That's not my parents' fault. They did not have the exposure, but they give me the freedom in the next level to get exposure. Now I got exposure, and these are I'm really thankful for the platforms like you are giving. Now my gatekeeper, which segment you have given me, my gatekeeper, don't let any negativity enter in my brain. That's very powerful. Then if I talk about Fire to Wire, which has given me a clear freedom of feeling that nobody can annoy me. It's me only, my feelings which are annoying me. Because earlier I was always blaming others. He's doing this, she is doing this, he's not listening to me, he's not suitable. That is, but when you brought that Fire to Wire every day morning, and every day I was debating with you, no, you are wrong. He did this to me, he did that to me. And then you made us realize, no, it's you who need to respond, not to react. These things are really needed to everyone. And the parents must go for this MRM and Fire to Wire, and children must go for the programs like Titan so that they can get that exposure, global exposure, and can reach to their fullest potential. And parents must learn that self-care from the people like you.
Excellent. That's the point I was trying to get you to portray. The environment, the exposure is dependent on the people that you hang out with and who
Yes,
is actually supporting you. Now, many
right.
out there don't understand that concept. Now,
And then
they
your
think by
focus is accordingly.
yeah,
And then
and
totally
they
your
think
focus is accordingly.
yeah, and they think by just paying 20,000 or 30,000 for tuition, they're getting what they want. But in actual fact, it's when you go and do this type of exercise that we speak of, and then you see how your child grows or how you grow first.
Yes,
That's why they say awareness of yourself is most important. And you were
true.
strong enough to pick that. When you understood your awareness, your strengths, your weaknesses, and you decided to make the shift yourself, the house changed. It's amazing
If
how the perspective changes. Thank you
if
so
you
much.
are
I got to
not
move.
happy, one more thing. If
Yeah.
you are not happy, if you are giving up on your dreams, you are teaching the same to your kids. If you want your children to be happy, to be mentally resilient, first you need to work upon yourself. Only
Yeah.
then you can expect.
Very true. Good. Now let me move on to Rhushana. I'm so sorry you're sitting down there quiet. Somebody has overshadowed you a bit for a minute. That's okay. I'll give you more time now. Let me just run through some of the things I wanted to ask you, Rhushana. In addition to doing and playing it forward, I can recall, Rhushana, when I first met you in Cape Town about 3 years ago. You would not move, you would not budge. You hung on to, there was a pillar. And I remember you were hiding behind the pillar while I was getting others on stage. Now, from that stage to now, I can see a dynamic shift in this person called Rhushana. What did you do to yourself to create that shift? The world needs to see that and hear that.
Whoa, David, flashback of that memory right now. Okay, so Rushana then, the difference between Rushana then and the difference between Rushana now is Rushana lived in a primitive state. The primitive, the brain was being run, I was being run by my primitive brain. And now I am, shifting to my cortex, so the fourth part of my brain. And so this was really ultimately the biggest shift for me. And what really helped me to create that shift is Dr. Lita spoke so much about the MRM and the fire and wire, was really being part of this beautiful um, community, which is led by you, David. And the exercises that Lita spoke about has really catapulted us and you shift to this front quarter part of our brain. You shift because, I was very much operating and vibrating from a state of fear. Because I came from a cocoon environment, moving into a completely unfamiliar territory made me feel really scared and afraid. And by doing certain exercises, by joining the Fire to Wire South Africa, really helped me in terms of the visualization, the visualization technique and sitting in silence got me to come to a inner stillness and started building my self-esteem. We do something in the Fire to Wire called affirmations. And this also helped one to build that self-belief within you, to ignite that inner strength. So these are the things that really helped me to get from where I was to where I am now. I was also very much like Dr. Lalita spoke about, kind of like blaming victim state. They did this to me. How did I get here? I was also operating a lot in that space, and then being part of this community helped me to take personal responsibility and realize, what, Rhushana, if you don't like where you at, you have the power to shift. And that is a choice that you've got to make. And coupled by making this choice, there's obviously massive action that we need to take. And so it is always that, that self-reflection, that self-analysis. What am I doing to shift? Instead of going into a blaming someone, go into solution-oriented mode. And all the exercises that you share with us, David, has helped me to become, to shift to solution-oriented mode. And so this really just just gives me so much. I won't speak about like from an ego. It's not coming from an egotistical part, but merely from a sense of you really have this power to create massive change when you work on yourself, right? And so the fire to wire is really just a hour every day, but this is a most powerful time. The morning time is such a powerful and crucial time for ourselves. So if we're spending our morning time in the right way, this is going to aid us for the whole day. It's going to allow us that inner strength to navigate throughout the day. And so, I would really, really just encourage the listeners to be part of our community, because not only are we a community that's paying it forward, but we're also there in terms of holding your hand in terms of support. I can't, David, I was just thinking the other day, I spoke on Fire to Wire and I was so emotional, I was crying, but everybody held space for me. And that allowed me to tap more into my vulnerability. This platform is not just about giving back, but it's about a sense of unity. It gives you my online family, where I feel seen, I feel heard, and I feel loved. And earlier, David, you spoke about who is supporting you. And I am, so elated to know that at any time when I have a challenge, that I have any one of you that I could pick up a call and connect with. It's really been an amazing journey for me being part of MRM and being part of Fire to Wire, because coming from a space of cocoon, being part of a strong family unit, I kind of lost who I was as a being. And now I'm having to step into my own being. And then I have to do this for myself. And now I have this amazing people to do it with me, where I can fall, I can make mistakes and not be judged. So, David, that has really been a game changer for me. Because, like I say, initially, I didn't have that self belief in myself. It was really me borrowing that self belief that others had in me. And that is why I'm so passionate about paying it forward. And okay, David, you on mute again. I see you moving. You want to come in there?
they've banned me from talking today. That's also okay. That's also okay to be dependent on someone, primarily because you're borrowing from them for a period of time before you can pay it back or pay it forward. So it's good to have people that you can trust to rely on. But the important thing also is, as many say, you show me your friends, and I will tell you to the dollar or to the paisa what your bank account is. That does not literally mean how much of money you have, but it means how much of wealth you've accumulated. Because your friends are the people that you bonded with in this particular case, in this environment. And that transparency and trust has allowed people to be nurtured when they need to be nurtured and to grow. Now, while we talk about nurturing, I want to deep dive into that little exercise you did at Fire to Wire where you broke down. Now, let me deep dive on that. When you did break down, in a normal situation, yes, you break down, you'll have a breakthrough a little bit and you would move on. But here, because of the support and the people, the way they were addressing things, you deep dive into that issue, which meant by the time you totally came out of it, you had exasperated all the tears you want to carry out, and you came out a bit much more lighter than if you had not been able to deep dive. Am I correct?
Absolutely, David. It allowed me to shed those emotions. With that tears, it allowed me to shed that emotions and that intensity of my thought around that situation. And so that shifted. But like I said, we need to feel what we need to feel.
Yes, and that is the finite detail of breakthroughs. Many would stop about 10 minutes prior to that, and they have an unfulfilled, I mean, for want of a very exotic term, I'm sorry to use this, they have an unfulfilled orgasm. At that point, they're breaking it. Now, here, what we're saying is you're able to go to that last minute with the people, understanding the comfort that they were able to deep dive into it and let you release your challenge, your issue, your worry, such that when you came back, you just flew like an eagle. And that's the power of a mastermind. Many don't realize that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because that's one key thing that I've been trying to get people to understand, the finite details, and many just brush it across because we are in what we call a very quick society that want everything yesterday, not tomorrow. So, so we have to work with it. Now, let me move on from there to Lalita. Journey through that, you've come back, you've got a good family, things are running honky-dory. Now, how and what are you doing to maintain that, or are you constantly improving? And if so, what are you doing? You're muted.
Yeah, David, I would love to share that. Like, just to maintain it, first thing is ambition. I must say, your challenge is 90, but I could reach only after 72 days. So that has brought a permanent mental resilience, a permanent positivity in me. And now when anything negative comes around me, I just say, shut up.
Yeah.
My gatekeeper throw it out. And that century in my house, this very table of mine, no matter what is happening around, when I reach here, I forget everything else. I come back to my pace and passion.
Yeah.
Recently, I have gone through a very tough time. I'm not sure what I would have done if I was the same person 3-4 years back. But now everything was happening around. In this was a very tough year for the entire family. I must say, everywhere around, in relations, relatives, and like many mishappenings were happening. But I was not even a single moment lost my senses, or I was broken. I was in my senses. Yes, it has happened. I was accepting it. and how I can contribute, what I can contribute, what best I can do. I was that much, on my position. And I was shocked to see, like, how did this happen? Right? And it will not happen just, once you have done a good course and you have seen a motivational speech and gone back home, and then after a few days you forget and it's left. You will have to be continuously, practice, practice, practice. That's something you need to do. You always say that. That's your line, but I'm stealing it. So sorry for that. And, as you mentioned, the people around you is the most important thing you need to take care of. If you are around chaotic people, if you are around people who are always, complaining, who don't have a growth mindset, I'll not say get rid of them. Maybe some of them can be your family, some of them can be your relatives, some of them can be your friends. But you must surround at the same time yourself with the right kind of people who are you really want to be or where you want to reach. That can bring you out from any well in life. So I'm doing both the things. I'm into the correct community, and I'm just these. Second thing is practice, practice, practice. Maybe in one form or the other, I'm practicing it continuously, and that's how I am maintaining it. And to be very honest, David, I would love to share it. If I look at myself 3 years back, like, I was not at all bothered about myself, not taking care. I was not valuing myself. And now I love myself. I'm not saying I'm not caring about others or I'm not taking care of other things. I'm doing everything. But primarily, I'm loving myself. And I can't share that feeling of fulfillment, contentment, and power and passion of that fulfillment of loving yourself and caring yourself and valuing yourself. And I'm continuously doing it. I'm pampering myself nowadays. So that's what I'm practicing and is making parallelly working even 10x as compared to the previous one, but taking care of myself as well 100x. That is what is boosting me to do even better and better and better every day. You are on mute.
Parting. Someone is. Oh, I'm unmuted. One last word to the audience before I move on to Rhushana. One last word for the audience.
Parents, and not only parents, anyone on this planet, self-care is a primary to do. In self-care, delegate work, share your responsibilities with the family. You are not on this planet to choose the entire universe and world. And you can't shift even a single person thing. You can't shift even a single person anything unless you do not take care of yourself, unless you are happy about yourself, unless you are not in love with yourself. I am my favorite. Unless you have this feeling, you can't do anything. So whether you are a parent or any individual, you should love yourself and take care of yourself.
David, you're back on mute.
I told you, 18 months, I didn't have to do this. Now I've got to mute and unmute myself. Rhushana, moving on to you. One parting word to the audience before we move on.
One parting word for me is we are all destined for greatness, right? I would urge or invite everybody to never settle for mediocrity, to discover your purpose and live a meaningful life. And if you don't have that self-belief as yet, am I audible? I feel like I got stuck. Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. And if you don't have that self-belief, borrow that self-belief from somebody else until you have that self-belief. But you are made to do something extraordinary with your life. You have a purpose, and the fact that you are breathing and living means that you have value to contribute to this world. So that is my last message. You are destined for greatness. David, you're on mute again. You're on mute again, David.
Thank you, ladies, and the audience appreciate your attendance, and more importantly, pearls of wisdom from both the ladies for you to look at, reflect upon, and as Lalita mentioned, practice, 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 or as I mentioned, 10x practice. Then you will understand what we're talking about. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you for the opportunity. Bye.
Hi. I think they are sending.